How's it going, guys and girls? This is Ketchup here once again, and we're back. It's been about 3 weeks since we've made content for you guys. We do apologise for that, but we've been incredibly busy with our casting business. Obviously, we were casting the International Mortal Kombat Cup finals in Paris, and then we had to go to Los Angeles to cast the ESL Mortal Kombat X Pro League Season 1 finals. And then obviously a few days after that, we then had to fly to Las Vegas, and we entered Evolution for Mortal Kombat X, where we actually placed pretty well. My brother must have managed to make 33rd place. I got top 8 with only Sorceror Quan Chi. I bagged 5th place there, so really happy with that. Thank you all very much for your support. And this is pretty much my gift to all of you. There's been a lot of, I guess, confusion around Sorcerer Quan Chi, and this video is going to be here to basically shed some light on the entire thing. I'm going to go over all of his spells, general strategies, and almost how to play this character. The stuff that I do at the very least. We're going to get started, we're going to look into the Armour spell and then take it from there. So stay with me, guys, and hopefully you learn something. So let's get the general how-to out the way first. You all know that if you do down 3 with Sorcerer, you get your Armour spell. This is going to be your main spell that you're going to focus on. You will use it more than the other two for a very strong reason. While standing in this Armour spell, I get a hit of armour. And that will tick every one time every 6 seconds. So if I set him to record and we set him to throw his magma bomb, which is down back 3. So basically if I dodge this and quickly cast my armor, if he does it again, I'll take a hit of armor. That will regenerate every 6 seconds. As you can see, I don't get hit now, but I might take it the next one. There we go. So every 6 seconds the armor will regenerate. And this is useful for a number of reasons, but mainly because it forces your opponent into pressing a button. If they come in to attack you, everything becomes risky. So if I turn them off, first things first, using it by itself, you very rarely would like to do this in the neutral game. Using it by itself takes a while to start up, and at any point before that the opponent will run in and punish you, tag you with a projectile or whatever. The only way you'll get this in a neutral is if you're kind of constantly checking them with these runes or skulls, getting the opponent to basically try and block your full screen game. The second they start respecting this, if I set him to block now, the second the opponent starts trying to sit there waiting for your attacks, the second they respect it like this, get the armor just in that split second. If they start to respect your full screen game, if they're really hyper aggressive, you will not get armor in the neutral. That's the start of things. What I want to go into next is how to set it up safely. There are a number of ways. I'll turn them off again to his block. Let's turn them off. Setting the armor up safely will mostly come from your 1-4-1 string. This is a hard knockdown, and there are 2 different ways of getting a hard knockdown after 1-4-1. 1-4-1, if you notice the recovery frames here, and how fast the opponent stands up. If I do a 1-4-1 and then armor, he stands up there as it's casting. If I do a 4-2-1-2-2 and then 1-4-1, you'll notice he's actually on the ground for a few frames longer. I mean, I guess that's around 20 frames longer or something. But the important thing is that it takes longer for him to stand up if he's airborne while you do a 1-4-1. It takes longer for him to stand up, and that's the big deal. I'm going to show you a couple of ways to implement the safe armor, and then we're going to take it from there. This is generally how you're going to want to set it up all the time, and this will apply in combos. The most frequent combo you'll see Quan players do is something like back 3-2-4, neutral jump punch, back 1-2 trance, and then if I try and do the 4-2-1-2-2 of this, there's actually too much gravity fin used up, it doesn't work. The 1-4-1 whiffs, and even if the 1-4 magically connects, the 1-4-1 won't. They'll fall out before the splat applies. So when you're going to play Sorcerer, you need to adjust all of your BNBs to make sure that you can always incorporate 4-2-1-2-2, run cancel 1-4-1. You need to do that every single time. But it's very simple. You just use up as little gravity as possible right at the start of your combos. So if I have to do it back 3-2-4, I just do a 4 trance, and then do a jumping punch 4-2-1-2-2, run cancel 1-4-1. And this is generally what you're going to do all the time, because you guarantee your armor, no one in the game can punish that, and because he's airborne, he's splattered for much longer. Another way of setting up your armor safely is off a meter burn rune. Now normally you would combo the meter burn rune into a regular rune just for the free damage. You get an unbreakable 18% for the cost of 1 bar. You can compromise that. Normally you go for a rune. This can work. If you do a regular rune and then go armor, it's risky. Some characters can punish this, like full screen teleports, Raiden, Superman, etc. Doing a regular rune and armor is not safe. Most characters you can get away with it because they don't have a full screen answer, but other characters can teleport you and punish you for free by doing a regular rune. However, if you do a meter burn rune, they're in the air for significantly longer and no one can do anything about that. So another way of safely doing it is landing a meter burn rune into instant armor, and they can't punish you for that either. Off the overhead and the neutral jump punch is the same thing. So neutral jump punch, 4 trance, jump and punch 4-2-1-2-2, and then run cancel 1-4-1. Overhead the same thing, don't even go for a back 2, you back 2 meter bone and then it goes straight into trance. You don't want to use up any of the gravity. You compromise a tiny bit of damage, but the important thing is getting good damage by itself, 34%, and then instantly going for your armor. So if you do overhead, straight into trance, do jump in punch, forward 2 1 2 2, just for the extra damage, 1 4 1, guaranteed armor, and here we go. That's generally how you tackle every single BNB. Every single combo should ideally end in 4 2 1 2 2 into 1 4 1. This applies the same in the corner, so if I reset us into the corner, you would do, don't be tempted to go for an extension like this. This is good if you're doing something like a rune trap, but if I'm trying to go for the armor, that's the only thing you'll get without them falling out, which is obviously the grounded one, which you don't want. So do the same combo in the corner, don't be tempted to go for more damage, because you can get slightly more damage by doing a couple of extra ones, because they're in the corner. So if I do back 3 2 4, 4 trance, because he's in the corner I get a couple of extra hits, but it's mainly from my standing 1. 1 1 1 4 1, still in the air, so I still get the armor, and bam, here comes the armored 50/50s. The only other thing I'm going to cover when it comes to comboing into this is the importance of your corner carry. If I reset us back to the central, and now I go for a combo during the trance, go 4 trance and then do 2 forward dashes. This gives more corner carry. You push him forward, 1 4 1. He's actually right near the corner already, and I'm sitting in armor, and that was through one combo. So corner carry is going to be your most important thing. Back 3 2 4, 4 trance, do 2 forward dashes, uses no stamina, 4 2 1 2 2. 1 4 1. He's basically in the corner already, and here we go. Like, I'm standing in armor, and he's in a bad situation because he's near the corner, I'm standing in armor. And the 2 forward dashes gave me that little extra piece of corner carry that Sorcerer wants to do. That's how you combo into the armor. Now I'm going to talk about the corner and full screen applications of that. So if you're going to play the mid-screen game using the armor, there's only a couple of applications. I'm going to go for a 4 trance, set this combo up as I've told you many times, 4 2 1 2 2, run in 1 4 1. You're not going to do conventional zoning in the armor, so this looks like zoning as such. However, what it's doing is, it's building meter more importantly for round 2 or 3, but at the same time, it's baiting the opponent into making a mistake and coming in to try and challenge the armor. The second they start trying to challenge the armor, you have some very interesting options. Most of the time it will be deliberately taking the hit and then powering through with your own string and punishing them. So in this situation, this is the best way I can record him, unfortunately. Do a 4 trance, do a 4 2 1 2 2 into 1 4 1. Go for the free armor. Now let's say he comes in and tries to challenge it. One of the things you can do is block a string and deliberately take the final hit. Get a free punish. That string's normally safe, but the second I let go of block and let myself get hit by the string, it becomes completely unsafe. 1 4 1, free armor, rinse and repeat. Zone him out, stress him, frustrate him, make him come in, and the second he starts trying to challenge it, like if I see the string, free with punish, I'll take the hit knowing I'm going to take the damage, bam, here comes the punish. Then I can do whatever the hell I want, you know, whatever kind of setup I want to go for. The second he starts trying to challenge the armor, that's when I actually get the punish, and I can catch him off guard for pressing too many buttons. Finally, I'd like to talk about the most important part of Quan Chi's armor game, which is when he puts you in the corner. This, in my opinion, actually gives Quan Chi the most dangerous corner game of any character in Mortal Kombat X, and when you learn it, extremely dangerous. You combo into armor the same way, one of 2 ways actually. You would do a regular combo into 4 rune, 4 trance, and then do 4 2 1 2 2, go for your armor, 1 4 1, armor up, and here come the 50/50s. If he tries to reversal, I have armor, so nothing is unsafe. I can combo in the same way, go for a restand, chuck in another 50/50. If he tries to punish, the armor disappeared. So if the armor disappears, you're not safe. You need to keep a mental note of the timing of your spell. But the most important thing here is if you combo and go, damn, I've used up too much pieces of gravity, you can just go for a grounded armor. They still can't do anything about this. Here it comes, no longer unsafe. That's normally unsafe on block and interruptible. When you're standing the armor, it no longer is. If I go for a restand, he tries to punish me, I'm armored, I'm unsafe. I can punish him, combo into this, go for the armor once again, and again, nothing he does will go through this. And I can punish him or just power through any button he presses. I mean, I've got him recording doing the spin right now, but that's just one of many options. But the important thing is that I'm not unsafe on any of these options. Quan Chi has armored 50/50s, and more importantly, things that were normally unsafe become completely safe. Sometimes you need to watch out. The opponent might try and down one into armor to chew up yours. You just need to block the down one and punish their armored move, making them waste their meter. Or some characters have multiple hitting wake up attacks. If I set Kung Lao to, let me change him to Buzzsaw actually. If I change him to Buzzsaw like this, This is one of the only things you need to watch out for going for armor. So hopefully it's reset. It has. So if I knock him on the floor, let's set him to wake up mode. If I set him to wake up attack on, and I set him to, where's the spin? Vortex. That's the one. Let me make sure I've got him set to the right one. That's the one. So doing 1-4-1 into armor by itself is actually unsafe to Buzzsaw. He can punish you. However, if you do the same setup I just told you about, which is knock him down, combo into the 4 trance, do 4-2-1-2-2, 1-4-1. This is now safe. He takes up a hit, but now I can punish him for free. So generally, like, that is the only thing you would need to watch out for, is when you knock him on the ground, watch out for the multi-hitting specials, because that's when he can actually start trying to reversal you with something that hits multiple times. However, it's unsafe on block, so you can always scout that, bait it, and punish it. And going for 1-4-1 into armor makes it look like he can spin, so it's a really great way of baiting out moves like that, but it's a special case. So secondly, I want to talk about Quan Chi's Hex. This is my favourite spell, and in all honesty I really feel like this is kind of my trademark right now. I've been using this since the very beginning, and I've been really trying to define Sorcerer around this way of playing the character. The Hex spell, for those of you that don't know, massively increases chip damage while the opponent is standing in it. So if he starts blocking, he takes massively increased chip damage, as you can see there. That does a significant chunk. It's almost like he's getting hit by it, but he's not. There are many uses of this, and if you're going to play Sorcerer, you need to incorporate this into your game. You can't use it by itself, it must be used in a setup. However, there are ways of guaranteeing this which simply adds to B&B combos and great damage. First of all, I'm going to talk about some mid-screen uses. You go for a regular combo as always, but you go for a little bit of damage at the start, because the important thing is that you end the combo in a down 3, which makes them have to respect the standing 1. So if I do down 3, sorry, 1-4 is guaranteed when timed correctly. This is a true block string. Down 3 and hit, 1-4 meter burn rune is a true block string against any character in the game. It doesn't matter what their hitbox is. So, when it comes to applying this to a rune trap, the term rune trap being forcing them to block and there's nothing they can do about it, you would do back 3-2-4, neutral jump, 1-1-4 trance, then do your hex as quickly as you can. Down 3, 1-4 meter burn rune, uppercut, does 50% damage for 1 bar, and the bulk of the damage they just took came from unblockable chip damage that they just have to take. There's nothing they can do to get out of that. So to repeat, you do back 3-2-4, you jump punch, 1-1-4 trance, get as much damage as you can, go for hex, down 3, 1-4 meter burn rune, uppercut, bam, 50% damage for 1 bar they can do nothing about. And this is just one mid-screen application. If they start respecting that, you can always go for things like jump-ins. I mean, this is quite situational, but you could go for the same combo, neutral jump punch, 1-1-4 trance, go for your hex, down 3, 1-4 meter burn rune, go for the jump-in punch into the same thing, and they take even more damage for 2 bars. Obviously the jump-in punch isn't guaranteed. There's a lot of conditioning you're going to need to do there to get them to fear that. But it's one of the many things you can do. That is one of the mid-screen applications. You can also knock the opponent down, combo as I did at Evo actually, which is go into your regular BNB, which would be back 3-2-4, 4 trance, do 4-2-1-2-2, 1-4-1 as always, but instead of doing armor, do hex. Starts up quicker, as they're standing up, they're taking the damage. And that's just added damage while they're in the trap. So if you have the opponent scared to press buttons, you can go for your combo, go into trance, jump in 4-2-1-2-2, 1-4-1, go for your hex, then as they're standing up, jail them with this, and the damage will become fairly unreal. I mean, you're building meter this entire time because they're blocking your attacks. That's one of the big deals. But the important thing is that although the standing 1 and the uppercut are both highs, when they block the meter burn rune, they're still in a state where highs will land on block if you time it correctly, which is why going for this combo of the neutral punch 1-1-4 trance works, because if you're quick enough, the high will still jail them, as you can see there. Bam. And that all still jails the opponent regardless of whether they're crouch blocking or not. That's the mid-screen application of this. I'm going to talk about the corner, and this is where things get insane. We've talked about jailing and guaranteeing the hex, but the corner is where this becomes insanely dangerous. You would go for a similar combo, go for your back 3-2-4, jump punch, 4-1-4 trance. However, in the corner you go for standing 3, which guarantees 4-2-1-2. this can cancel into meter burn rune as well. So the full cycle of this will be doing 4-2-1-2 into meter burn rune, 1-4 meter burn rune, and then you rinse and repeat. So you do 4-2-1-2 meter burn rune. You literally just repeat this for as long as you have meter. When this is timed correctly, it's actually a true block string the opponent can't get out of. So with the hex, look at the chip of this. Go 4-2-1-2 meter burn rune, 1-4 meter burn rune, 1-4 meter burn rune, 1-4 meter burn rune. Now that was just by itself, and they've taken a significant chunk of damage. And as I mentioned, this is a true block string. If they try and move, or if they try and armor, they'll get hit by the string as normal. This will still combo, hit confirm, into the full thing, do a standing 3, and guarantee it once more. So the full cycle of this will be doing a meterless combo, which will come from either overhead or low. Go for your hex, standing 3, 4-2-1-2 meter burn rune, 1-4 meter burn rune, 1-4 meter burn rune, 1-4 meter burn rune. As you can see, that's pretty much complete death. And here's where it gets even better. Some opponents actually can't get out of this cycle at all. If I set Tremor to reversal, turn him on. So he's set to automatic block, and he will armor out as soon as the game will physically allow. So if I go for my combo again and he tries to armor, if I mistime this deliberately now, it takes too long to start up. So 4-2-1-2. Now if I mistime it on purpose, if I can actually do it, there you go. He still gets hit. That's his armored reversal, and I can still punish him and then go back into whatever I want, because the armor takes too long to begin. It's the same problem for Devourer. Devourer suffers from the same thing, as does Kung Jin outside of Bojitsu, and other characters as well. I've not massively experimented with the other characters, but the important thing is that your block string must always come from 1-4, because if I try and go for anything else, for example back 3-2 meter burn rune can be armored out of, not safe. If I try and do down 3 meter burn rune, not safe, I can be armored, etc, etc. So you can only jail the opponent from 1-4 meter burn rune. It's the only thing that you can do. However, once you get this timing correctly, especially on medium to big body characters, they actually can't get out of this cycle at all. If you spend your entire first round sitting in armor and deliberately building meter for when you inevitably put the opponent in the corner, you can use 3 bars. Let me turn my meter off. So just to prevent anything going wrong, I'll turn his reversal mode off, and then I'm gonna set my meter to normal. So this is a regular bar of meter. Let's say that Tremor has no meter, or at least no breaker. So if I catch him in my combo, go for the damage here, 1-4 trance, go for my hex, 3, 4-2-1-2 meter burn rune. This entire sequence where he's taking all the damage, this is where it gets insane, because the reality is he's not building any meter through block. I'm building meter through block. So if I manage to throw out anything that will build the extra bar, that can almost do, or can do, 100% damage. And because he has a slow reversal, it doesn't matter. He can't even armor through. He has to take it. The second I corner him, he's done for. The final thing I'd like to touch on is how to rune trap small hitbox characters. I've done a video on this already, but for the sake of this video I may as well do it again. It's not easy to hitbox small characters like Tanya. If you notice 1-4 meter burn rune, the 1-4 always whiffs if I do it by itself. She's too small, so the 1-4 meter burn rune doesn't work on her. You have to run cancel the 1-4, so 1-4 meter burn rune, 1 cancel, and that jails. What I did there was I did forward RT, and then 1-4 meter burn rune. This must be done. It's a much harder way of doing it, but the run cancel into 1-4 meter burn rune is the only way you can true jail these small characters. Otherwise, another thing you can do is, if the opponent acknowledges she's got a small hitbox, you can combo her as normal, go for hex, and then almost bait it, because if she's small, there's a much higher chance you're going to try and get out of it. So now I'll bait it, punish it as normal, and then bam. You can literally just repeat it, and then go 3 if you have any left, 4-2-1-2 meter burn rune, and then that's it. Rinse and repeat that. But generally, you're going to want to run cancel the 1-4 meter burn rune, as I demonstrated earlier. The final spell I'm going to look into is the meter drain spell. This is down 1, and it's the purple one. So this is not the most useful of spells. It has a really good purpose, but it's a very situational purpose. I thought at first maybe you could combo this, but you can't due to basically the startup time of the spell. It takes too long. The only spell you can combo into is the Hex, because it takes almost 3/4 of the time to start as the rest. So I can do something else. This doesn't apply with the armor or the meter drain. So if I tried to do a combo, maybe I could combo Jackie Briggs and then go into my meter drain and then start doing whatever, and draining the opponent's meter. This doesn't work. It takes too long to start up. So what you're going to do is, it only really will serve a full screen purpose, because you're at risk around this kind of area against most characters. So from full screen, it's more of a counter zoning game. You're going to counter zone with Sorceror Quan and get more out of it by going for the meter drain. As you can see, 1 rep of meter burn rune does about half the opponent's meter, slightly more. This serves a very specific purpose. If you're fighting a zoning character, but you can win the zoning war, and you want to get more than just damage on them. So if I'm against Jackie Briggs, and I would send a full screen, I'm going to do the combo that I always do. I do back 3, 2, 4, 4 trance, or I'll drop it because I'm bad, 4 trance, and then I do the regular combo I've done the entire time, 4, 2, 1, 2, 2, 1, 4, 1, meter drain. I would crouch her projectile and then instantly start counter zoning with this. So I'm counter zoning her, and now as you can see, she's losing constant meter. So I'm winning the zoning game against Jackie, but at the same time I'm taking away her resources to zone me. So if I set her to record and I do back-to-back machine gun, let's do this. So she's trying to shoot me with her zoning. If I'm full screen, let's knock her down, if I can. Let's set this up. So I'm going to combo her, go into trance, send her full screen, set up purple spell, crouch her projectile when she does it, and then start my own counter zoning. I'm now taking her meter away. So if I'm winning the zoning battle, she's losing all of her meter. If she's losing meter, then that means she's not going to build any bar to do meter burn, which is where the bulk of her damage from this will come from. Because if I neutral crouch and trade, you're going to notice I only get hit by a couple, and take minimal damage. So if I'm going to play the zoning game with Jackie Briggs, one last time, send her full screen. Instead of doing armor, because the armor will get chewed up by her multiple hitting moves, go into meter drain, crouch her projectile, and then start counter zoning. Every time I get a hit, you'll realise here that she's losing significant meter. The more meter I'm draining and I'm winning the zoning fight, she's building very little, but losing a lot. That really is the only application to meter drain, to play the full screen battle and drain meter and get more out of your counter zoning than just damage alone. And there we have it. So that generally covers the basics of what I do with Quan Chi. There is infinite content to be found in this game with the variation system, with all the different characters. I have chosen to only specialise in one variation, and there is still so much to find. I'll constantly look for new tech. I'm going to use as much as I can. Hopefully I can do better in the future with this character, but obviously there are plenty of other Quan players out there to look out for too, like Shujinky Dink, Wonder Chef. You have people like Under the Mayo, Michelangelo and Super Ball, these guys that all play the same character, but we dabble in different variations. Hopefully you learned something from this video and take away from the fact that Sorcerer is just as strong as Summoner. They get the same results, but I feel like Sorcerer is just slightly harder to set up, but you get different levels of reward. In my opinion, more reward. So take care guys, as always, please like and subscribe for more MK content, and I'm Ketchup, and I'll see you later. Take care now.